Hey guys, this is my fifth and sixth day on testosterone replacement therapy. It's an update on what's going on, how I feel. I did my first injection last Thursday. I'll be doing the injection again tomorrow. I did take today my estrogen blocker. It's this over here. You take one every 3 days. Now this is known as anastrozole. Okay, I take one capsule every 3 days for 30 days. Now my estrogen level is actually normal. However, because my testosterone level is so low that they have to give me estrogen blockers for the first 3 months until my testosterone level goes up to where it should be. Now, as you guys probably know from my previous videos, my testosterone level is at 304, which is at the bottom of the barrel. The bottom of the barrel is like 300, so at 304 it was at the bottom of the barrel. My estrogen, it was something 46, I believe. Now a tidbit of fact that you should know is that your testosterone should be 17 times higher than your estrogen. My estrogen was 36, which was in the normal range. However, if we multiply 36 by 17, that is way higher than my current testosterone level of 300. Now today's video is going to be, should you go with a male doctor or a female doctor when it comes to TRT? Gentlemen, hands down, go with a male doctor over a female doctor anytime, not just TRT, but at any time. Why? Because females, at best, they are incompetent. At worst, they are malicious. Let me explain. The doctors I am seeing, they are male doctors. It's a male-owned clinic. It's a male doctors that I made contact with. It's a male doctors I sat down with and told them what my goals were. And then when my blood work came back and I went to the office, they assigned a woman to do the prescription for me. And I walk in there, this young woman, probably 35 years old. She seemed jaded. You know, it's like, I don't want to be there. You know, I went to college for 10 years. I'm probably several $100,000 in debt. And here I am reading off a piece of paper to some guy who just walked in from the beach with a big smile on his face. And you can tell that she was not, she didn't like being there. You know, she felt that the job was beneath her. So, I could quickly tell how this, from this girl's demeanor, that that she wasn't gonna do a good job. I can completely tell by her demeanor. And in my brain, I was like, you know what, man, don't ask questions, don't do anything, don't say anything. Try to get out of there as quickly as possible and then talk to the male doctors tomorrow. So here's this woman, she's going over my lab work. She's not telling me anything that I already don't know. You know, if you ever walk into, like, say, an electronics store like Fry's or Best Buy, and you ask the sales guy, hey man, what does this motherboard or video card, what does it do? And then they flip over the package and they read what the description on the package. It's like, come on, dude, I could have done the same thing myself. I thought you'd probably have a little bit more knowledge than what's printed on the back of the box. It was the same thing with this female woman. Her knowledge wasn't any more than my knowledge, even though she supposedly went to college for 10 years for this. So it only took like 5 minutes, and she prescribed me half a cc of injections a week, and she did not prescribe me estrogen blockers. Now, fortunately for me, the guy who introduced me to testosterone replacement therapy is a stunt actor out in Hollywood. You can look him up on Instagram under his stage name, Abraham Justice. Again, his stage name, that's the name he uses out in Hollywood, Abraham Justice. He is the one who introduced me to testosterone replacement therapy, because that's what all the guys out there in Hollywood use to get big. That's some information that you guys may not know. I know a lot of you guys look at Hugh Jackman, you're like, how did this guy gain 25-30 pounds of muscle? Testosterone replacement therapy. You're welcome. So anyways, I know from my contact out in Hollywood that somebody like me, I would need 1 cc a week of injections, and in all likelihood I would need estrogen blockers. But like I said, I'm not gonna sit there and argue with a woman who looks like she doesn't want to even be there to begin with. So the next day, the doctor, the male doctor that I've been, talking to, he calls me up and he profusely apologizes. Now, mind you, I did not call, I did not complain, I did not email. He simply called me out of the blues, apologizing, saying that she totally prescribed the wrong medication for me. Of course, he had to white knight for her and say, well, she was being conservative by prescribing you half a cc of testosterone on a weekly basis. Of course, we all know that half a cc is not gonna do me jack squat. In fact, the doctor himself said, half a cc, you're 6'3", you are 260 plus pounds, your estrogen levels is, even though it's normal, it's definitely, the ratio is just way too high for the testosterone levels you're currently at. You need estrogen blockers. Gentlemen, you guys need to understand something about females, is that, like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, women who are in a place of power, in a place of authority, at best they're incompetent, at worst they are malicious, meaning that they will purposely mislead you down the path. Now, obviously, this 35-year-old female doctor, she knew that I definitely needed, a full cc of testosterone, and I needed estrogen blockers. If I, Amr Mitwali, knew that, and I didn't have to go to for 10 years to know that, and I already knew that. Obviously, she knew that, but she purposely gave me the wrong prescription, because she just couldn't stand to see, here I am, 40 years old, I'm happy, I just came in from the beach, had a beautiful day out in the sun, swimming, tanning, as you can see. So she's probably like, oh, okay, I'm just gonna make sure that you can't be the best you can be. So two things you have to keep in mind, guys, when it comes to women in anything, not just when it comes to testosterone replacement therapy, or when it comes to doctors. Any career, any situation where a woman has any sort of authority over you, it's gonna come down to one of two things. It's gonna come down to her best interest, and it's also gonna come down to how she feels about you, or how you make her feel, I should say. Now, when it comes to a woman's best interest, I know a lot of female financial analysts who sign up men with bad performing portfolios, but the girl is gonna get massive kickbacks from the company. So you, as a man, you can lose your money, and that's totally fine, because her best interest will always trumps your best interest. Let me say that again, gentlemen. A woman's best interest will always trump your best interest. So if a woman is going to tell you, hey, as your financial analyst, I advise you to put your money in this stock or in this portfolio, understand that it's in her best interest, because she's making some money off of it in one way or another, and in all likelihood it's not in your best interest. It's probably even a negative thing for you, but she doesn't care, because her best interest is what takes precedent over your best interest. And the other thing is, it all depends on how the woman feels about you. If the woman just doesn't like you, she's simply gonna give you the wrong information, as this 35-year-old doctor did in my case. So the bottom line here, gentlemen, is that avoid women in the workplace if you can. Okay, the only time it's okay to deal with a woman in the workplace is if you're at Walmart and she's, checking out your products, or you're at McDonald's and she asks you if you want fries with that. That's really the only time where it's okay for you to interact with women in the workplace. But other than that, guys, avoid women in the workplace, especially if they have any sort of authority over you, especially if you are a client of theirs or a patient of theirs. They will always put their best interest ahead of yours. I know a lot of female dentists, they would purposely tell guys, oh, you need a root canal, you need a crown, you need this, you need that. They run up like a $10,000 bill, when in reality, a couple of $100 would have done so. I know this amazing Indian doctor out in North Hollywood in Los Angeles, and he'd tell me all the time, man, I'd get these guys who would go to like a female doctor, and she'd be like giving them a $10,000 bill. They come over to me and I'm like, you only need like $400 or $500 worth of work. So women will always put their interest ahead of yours. And if that means they have to rip you off, if that means they have to give you bad advice, bad medication, it doesn't matter. It all comes down to A, how much money they can make off of you, and B, how they feel about you. If they just don't like you, guys, they're just gonna give you bad information, bad medication. That's why I'm telling you, the bottom line here, guys, is that don't ever go to a female doctor. Definitely don't go to a female doctor when it comes to testosterone replacement therapy. So anyways, so this being my 6th day, I feel good. I feel I don't want to say motivated, because again, I always was a motivated person. It's just that I have that extra oomph out there to do what I do. Basically what I do is put on steroids, excuse the pun, because TRT, gentlemen, is a steroid. I know a lot of you guys out there are saying, yo, Amar, isn't steroids what Arnold Schwarzenegger and Ronnie Coleman use? Yeah, they use the same stuff we use, except our stuff puts us in the normal range for a healthy man. The stuff that Arnold Schwarzenegger, Ronnie Coleman use, instead of them being, in the 800-900 range, they are probably in the 1,000, 2,000, or maybe even 3,000 range. That's why these guys become super duper big. But nevertheless, TRT indeed is a steroid. So all TRT did for me, gentlemen, is that it has put what I already have going on steroids. And even though it was my first week of TRT, because my testosterone was just so low, the first injection already started to have good benefits for me. Tomorrow I'm gonna do my second injection, and I'm gonna do that for you guys on camera, because I know a lot of you guys out there, your biggest fear of TRT is that you don't want to inject yourself. I've did it before. My first video is an injection of me injecting TRT into myself. It was the first time I ever injected anything in myself. It was painless. It took me less than 2 minutes. You guys saw that for yourself, and I'm gonna do that again for you guys tomorrow. So that's my update for day 5 and 6 of my testosterone replacement therapy. If there's anything you guys can take out of this video, don't ever go to a female doctor. All right, guys, I'm gonna see you in the next one. Take care of yourselves. Peace.